Good morning, everybody. This is Anil Mahajan from my YouTube channel Views on Global News. So today is 17th of April 2023, and today we are going to discuss the demise of dollar. The dollar is going to die. Dollar on the deathbed, also you can say. And America, United States of America, maybe in another 15 years or 10 years, maybe the one of the poorest countries, or maybe it will split into various countries. It can happen. So today on 17th of April 2023, I am giving you a small history of the entire dollar journey. The journey started in Bretton Woods, and prior to Bretton Woods conference, which was held after the end of the Second World War, when the entire world was reeking of only poverty. The Europe was poor, all the countries were poor because they were affected by the Second World War. The cities were destroyed, the countries got destroyed. How to bring the countries to a working level, how to revive the economies, that was a great job. And I'll tell you, before, the only country which was least affected by the Second World War was United States of America, because no major bombings happened in the US cities. So it was safe and strong, and when it was exporting to Europe and all, even in the later part of the Second World War, when it knew that okay, it is going to win the war, it started exporting against the not the reserve currency of that time was pound sterling. No, not against pound sterling, but against gold. So it collected a huge quantity of gold from all over the world. No, Italy wants to import something from America because its factories are decided want to import something, so it has to offer gold against gold. So America had an opportunity to gather huge quantity of gold, tons of gold. So when the Bretton Woods conference took place, it said that I don't believe in uh, pound sterling as reserve currency, so cancel it out. It was cancelled. Now, either you pay me in gold, whatever I export, helping the economies to, the world economies to revive. Whatever I export to them, you pay me in gold. You cannot, because the countries do not have gold. So therefore, I can pay. They can pay me in terms of US dollars and convert it the US dollar into reserve currency. The Bretton Woods conference said where the dollar will come, where these countries will get the dollars from. He says okay, let us establish two banks system, IMF and World Bank. Now these banks will assess the damages in each country and will give the loans to these countries in the form of US dollars. Now Italy has got loan or Japan has got loan in the form of dollars. Now those main person who is giving the dollars is America, is printing and giving it out to, let us say, it is giving dollars to IMF. IMF is paying to Japan. No, Japan is lending to Japan. The Japan has to return those dollars. No, whatever it is importing from in America, it is importing against the dollar, which it has obtained from IMF. No, no, it has to repay the IMF also. No, for that it has to put up its industries to make its exports in electronics or whatever it is in course of time. So whatever it makes and exports to America, it will get dollars. No, even if it doesn't export to America, even if it imports to other country like Japan is exporting to Italy or Germany, it will get in dollars. No, those dollars it has to repay to IMF. So this entire circle got created, and the dollar hegemony was established. Dollar is a devil. This is what I I wrote this article in 1980, published in the Pioneer paper in April 1980. That time I was doing my MBA, and I told you my main subject was international money market, and I could sense it that what the hell is happening. Dollar is become so important. When I wrote it down, that time another event had happened. Now I'll tell you what other event had happened. So dollar became the reserve currency, and it was successfully established as the reserve currency of the world. Naturally, the economies got bailed out. It was a bailout for all the economies in the world which were destroyed by Second World War. Now, what happened that OPEC countries were formed. When OPEC was formed, they increased the price of. They said, we want more dollars. Before that, what happened? There was a time in early 70, that America said, why the hell we have to peg our currency? US dollar is so popular now all over the world. Everybody is asking for dollars. Why don't I make it a fiat currency? So they made it a fiat currency. That America has got a right to print any amount of dollars. It can print any amount of dollars, and now they got it printed on every individual note. In God we trust. So you believe in God, so God will pay. So they removed it from pegging with the gold reserves. So it didn't remain a reserve currency, it became a fiat currency. When it became a fiat currency, now America can print as many dollars as it wants. Then I said, no, countries like OPEC countries, they decided that let us increase the price. They increased it several fold. They increased the price of petroleum several fold. When they increased several fold, America was one of the major importers, so it affected American economy also. So they contacted OPEC countries. They said, okay, we give you protection against petroleum, against your local rewards, because all the countries in the OPEC, mostly they are kingdoms or they are sheikdoms, so they do not have a democratic systems. So they can be the sheikh can be killed or assassinated by any other in the royal family or somebody else. We give you full protection. We give you protection, and against that, you offer us the facility of petrodollars. In the sense that whenever any OPEC country exports energy to any part of the world, it exports petroleum to any part of the world, that is exporting it to India. Now, America comes into the picture because American dollars will be required by OPEC country, Saudi Arabia, to export oil from Saudi Arabia to India. We need to pay in only petrodollar. This gave the birth to a concept called petrodollar. So petrodollar is a checker view, is a kind of checker view which got started. Like the entire world was needing energy, was under industrial growth, and it needed energy, it needed petroleum, and for petroleum, you have to pay in dollars, only US dollars. So America can print as many dollars, and for getting those dollars, we have to export to America. We export to America or any other country and accept dollars against that. So dollar became a currency. That time I wrote an article, this devil called dollar in 1980. It reflected the sentiment behind it, the entire story behind it. That it's America's specialty is only printing dollars. It can print as many dollars, and they have got a legal value all over the world as a currency. They are accepted by all over the world. So I am printing as many dollars and importing everything from like in a way. This I wrote in my article that the entire world was working like a slave for the welfare of Americans. For the welfare of the American economy, the entire world was working hard. Like Japan is making Toyota cars, this cars, and exporting it to America for getting dollars. For Germany was making cars or any other equipments or household appliances. Italy was making household appliances or anything, or fashion garments or anything, and it is exporting to USA and getting what? Simply pieces of paper printed with "In God We Trust" US dollars. It is the entire world was working as a slave. Even today they are working as a slave to America. Like Americans are working only 6 hours a day or 4 days a week, and they are living in prosperity only. The prosperity is coming only because of the dollar. Dollar is present everywhere. So this could be not be sensed by many people in the world those days. In the early days, when all the countries were growing, they could not sense it. But then, who sensed it? The first person in this planet Earth was Saddam Hussein. He said, we cannot work for America like that. I want gold as a currency. Gold. You give me gold, I export you petroleum. Then the PR, all battalions of America, they got in action and they declared that this Saddam Hussein is a devil. He is a war criminal. He declared them as a war criminal. He is doing whatever. So, and he was hanged also. Second person who came into the fray to speak about the hegemony of dollar was a person called Colonel Gaddafi of Libya. He was also destroyed by America. After that, nobody could had himmat to rise against the dollar hegemony. Only, what happened? In late 90s, Euro came. All European countries formed European Union and came out with the Euro. Euro could not be given so much of power, but it had a presence in the world. It has a presence in the world. This was the first revolt. Euro was the first revolt against dollar. And now the second shock is coming. The origin of the second shock lies in Ukraine war. When the Ukraine war was declared and it happened, that time America sanctioned USA and said, okay, you cannot now. The SWIFT account was all Russian banks, they were deleted, and reserves of around $260 billion of Russia, they were lying in American banks. So they were frozen. Then the world realized, China realized, India realized, how it is very dangerous proposition we are in. We are in a very dangerous ecosystem. We are working so hard and we are creating dollars, we are getting dollars in return, and that dollars America is keeping it as reserves. Or it, like let us say, in China it's got more than $1 trillion in American treasury. So $1 trillion of exports which China has affected by hard work of its people. Now they are lying in US treasury. Now if something happens in American-Chinese relations, $1 trillion can be confiscated. Like what happened to ruble, it can happen to yuan. No, India has got $600 billion. So most of it is in American banks, in various tenure bonds or whatever it is. So they can be all frozen. The entire world economies who are working for the welfare of Americans, they can be destroyed. They can be in limbo. The economies can be in limbo. So their they felt, these countries, Russia, China, and India, primarily. These three countries felt the need to have a currency which is different from dollars. So at least you can, you can trade among major part of the countries. Like we can now, we are not all exporting and importing from America only. That we can continue doing in dollars. But what about the export and import to other countries? Why we have to do it in dollars? We can do it in a really reserve currency, because there is a need for a really reserve currency. What can happen? Like if we want to, the few countries will get together. Now, how this multipolar world, in this multipolar world, a multi-basket arrangement is being worked out. BRIC conference is being held in August 2023. Now, prior to BRIC conference, all the papers are being read. All the entire procedures are being laid out. How every country which is going to be part of the BRIC is the future. Maybe the currency will be called as BRIC. Maybe, we don't know. Our BRIC members will not be limited to these 5 members. It will be there will be more members where people can join BRIC and become, and then like Saudi Arabia can join, UAE can join, they become part. So they can become a form of the digital currency. Let us say the name of the currency is BRIC currency. Now BRIC will be a multi-country currency, single currency, but the currency will be decided on the legitimacy of the country's economies, which will be reflected in the form of each individual country, in the form of either gold reserves, or in the form of exports and imports, or in the form of like commodities which are like Saudi Arabia. Economy is dependent upon petrol. So petrol can form. Petrol GDP related to petrol trade can be used as a deciding factor to determine the stability or the price of the Saudi Riyal. This Saudi Riyal can become a part of the international BRIC currency. Now, similarly, Chinese yuan will be dependent upon the trade China is having, or the strength China is having, or probably this part of it could be the reserves of the gold, result of the gold it is having, and part of it might be in the form of trade it is affecting, monopoly trade, the important trade it is having. So a basket will be world, and a digital form of the digital yuan will be there, digital form of digital Indian currency will be there, Indian digital form of digital rupee will be there, like digital Saudi Riyal will be there. No, there will be, in digital, the minting will not be like a cryptocurrency. It will be blockchain affected. No, it can be printed any number of times. It cannot be like a fiat currency. There is limited printing depending upon the arithmetics for which makes the base of that currency. Now, these currencies, how they affect digital rupee, digital ruble, and let us say digital ruble, then digital dirham, then let us say digital Saudi Riyal. No, they form a particular platform, and how much weightage should be assigned to each of them will be dependent upon the strength of their economies. So then the weight can be changed, weightages can be changed, or can be fixed depending upon, or it will be dependent in a flux, it will remain in flux maybe. But the resultant international currency which will be formed will be, let us say, BRIC currency will be having the stability and the strength of a reserve currency. This is how a new reserve currency is going to be formed. And it will maybe, if everything goes fine, it will be in operation in another year, or maximum 1.5 years. It will be in operation in a year or so. By 2024, and it will be in operation, and will be playing a major role in the entire world economics, right? What will happen to dollar thereafter? You can say dilapidated dollar or demise of dollar, or I have uploaded a few videos on this state of affairs in dollar. Dollar demolition could be there. So this dollar demolition will play havoc with the American economy, because American economy is sucking like a leech the world economy. Why? I'll upload another video saying why the world is so poor, despite working so hard. Why the prosperity is there with Americans who work so little. This is all because of the hegemony of the dollar. And I am telling you, once the hegemony of dollar is removed, structurally, there is going to be major change in the world. Dollar will go to tops. And resultant, when the country becomes poor, why I need dollar? I will not need dollar. If I want, we have working arrangements with all other countries. So I don't need dollars. I need dollars only when I want to import it from America, and for that I am exporting to America. That is a different matter altogether. But dollar hegemony will be lost. Dollar will not remain the major currency in the world. It will become a minor currency. It will be reduced to penury. And the effect will be the American banks will collapse. American Fed will collapse. $30 trillion it has to pay to the entire world. That is the deficit. And for that, against that, they have printed $7 trillion post-COVID. And where are that dollars gone? They have dollars, like they distribute dollars, let us say, to the citizens of America free of cost. Let us say $1,200 to each citizen. No, he is buying anything. This has got origin in other countries. Like he is buying some hardware which is coming from India. He is buying some iPhone which is coming from China. He is buying some electronic good which is coming from China or Japan. Or he is buying some material which is coming from Russia. So, or he is buying petrol which is coming from petrodollars, which is coming from Saudi Arabia. And against that he is giving coupons printed by the government of USA. It's just, how the paper money can be important. Paper money is shit. It is not backed by anything. So that money has got no value, and now America will realize that, okay, the bank, what I foresee, before 2030, the America will collapse. The entire hegemony will fall like, like cards, house of cards. It will collapse. And the effects will be very severe to the American economy. The world will become prosperous. The entire world can become prosperous thereafter. After the prosperity lies only in the demise of dollar. This is going to be my next video upload. Will be discussing why the demise of dollar is going to, how it is going to be economically or in microeconomics and macroeconomic basis, how it is going to destroy the markets, how it is going to create a new stock changes, new markets, new paradigms. This I'll upload in a week or so. Next week I'll upload this, the demise of dollar, and which will result into demise of America. And America, once it becomes poor, 6 hours working a day and 4 days a week is going to make you pauper and poor. And if Indian is working 18 hours a day and 7 days a week, he'll become rich. Anybody who's putting in this arbitrage will settle the things. Arbitrage will not be in existence. The world has become a smoother and a happy place. The poor countries will become richer. The working hard country, the only criteria that will decide the future of any country, how hard you work, how innovative you are. The money will flow there, the prosperity will flow there. This is going to be my next video upload. Thank you very much and all the best, my dear.